Senator Cornyn.
Mr. McCabe, I revere the Department of Justice. I revere the FBI. But what's happened over the last 4 years has revealed an FBI gone rogue that has interfered with not just one candidate, but with two candidates for President of the United States, starting with Hillary Clinton. And then, of course, the investigation of the current president, Donald Trump. How is it that the FBI decided to interfere in the election of not just one, but two candidates for President of the United States?
Well, Senator, I don't agree with your characterization of our work as having gone rogue. And I would also say that at no time while I was in the FBI did we make a decision to interfere in any presidential election.
Did you participate in the discussions leading up to the July 5th, 2016 press conference that Director Comey held on the email investigation? Did you agree with that, and did you support his decision to go public with that announcement?
Senator, I was a part of those decisions at the time. I supported it at the time. I feel very differently about it now. I'm happy to go into detail about that if you'd like.
And you understand that while you thought that firing the FBI director may be some evidence of Russian involvement with President Trump, you're familiar with the Rod Rosenstein memo, which was, at least in part, the reason why Director Comey was fired, correct?
I learned of the, yes, I became familiar with that maybe the day that Director Comey was fired.
What I don't understand, Mr. McCabe, is your relationship with Director Comey. Did Director Comey know everything you knew, or did you selectively tell him or report to him about things that the FBI was doing?
Well, I can't say, Senator, I can't say what Director Comey knew, but I can tell you that Director Comey and I attended numerous meetings together, briefings every day, that it was my practice to discuss all of the major issues that we were dealing with, that I was dealing with Director Comey. So we spoke frequently about most topics. I can't tell you with perfect accuracy everything that we talked about, but we talked a lot. So he was pretty up to speed on what was going on at all times.
Did you or Director Comey consult with Attorney General Lynch or Deputy Attorney Sally Yates about the counterintelligence investigation of the Trump campaign?
Yes, sir. Our team met with the folks, the DOJ leadership of the National Security Division within a day or so of opening the Crossfire Hurricane investigation, and informed them of what we had done and what we thought about the case and the people who were being investigated. And then Director Comey and I, well, I won't speak for Director Comey. I had follow-up conversations with department leadership in the days that followed, and many times during the course of the investigation.
Mr. McCabe, who should be held accountable for the submission of a Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act application that contained a lie about Carter Page with regard to his activities on behalf of another agency of the federal government? And who should be held accountable for relying on the now discredited Steele dossier? I think that's the question people would like an answer to. Who should be held accountable?
Senator, I think all of the people involved in this work should be and have been held accountable. I feel like the oversight process that we are engaged in now, the participation and cooperation and the efforts of the Inspector General, I think all of these elements of the work that the FBI has done internally to address everything from individuals to processes involved, I think those are all essential steps to ensure that these errors are fixed and that we take appropriate steps not to make them in the future.
Well, it's 2020, and these occurred back in 2016. I don't think I certainly don't have any confidence that the people who were responsible for this debacle over the last 4 years will ultimately be held responsible. I hope I'm wrong. So I don't agree with my friend from California that's now a time to turn the page. We need to make sure that nothing like this ever happens again to any candidate or any president, regardless of their political party. I have to tell you, my biggest concern, Mr. McCabe, is if the FBI under James Comey and under your leadership as Deputy Director of the FBI can do this, what they did to Hillary Clinton, a candidate for President of the United States, and can do it to Donald J. Trump, both as a candidate and a current President of the United States, what chance does an average citizen have if they're under investigation by an FBI led by leaders in the fashion that you and Mr. Comey led during the time of these investigations? What confidence can an average citizen have that they would have any chance at all?
Senator, I disagree with you. I think that all Americans should and do have great confidence in the FBI today and during the time I was there and before that. The FBI conducts tens of thousands of investigations across all programs every single day. And the FBI goes to great lengths to ensure that the rights, constitutional rights of those subjects of investigations, the witnesses we come across, and the sources of information we work with are protected during the course of those investigations. That doesn't mean that we don't make mistakes. We do. We're an organization of human beings, and people make mistakes. And when that happens, I think we go through a rigorous process to ensure that we don't make those mistakes again.
Well, when you make mistakes, other people pay the price, apparently. Let me just ask one final question, Mr. McCabe. On March the 16th, you were terminated by the FBI following an investigation of the Office of Inspector General and the FBI's Office of Professional Responsibility, which found that you had made an unauthorized disclosure to the news media and you lacked candor, including under oath, on multiple occasions. Isn't that correct?
Senator, it is correct that I was the subject of a biased and deeply flawed and unfair investigation by the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General. And I've been pretty clear in my vigorous objection to that investigation and its findings and conclusions. I filed a federal lawsuit. And I think I would refer you to the specific comments in that lawsuit. It's not proper for me to discuss the details of that investigation now that it's in front of a federal judge.